Alright, this is the morning of day 54, and it was just too rainy, too cold, too miserable, too everything to make videos the last couple days. And, I really didn't want to, I tried beating the rain on and off, but I just didn't want to risk ruining my phone trying to make a video, and then the files were so large that it takes forever out here to download, so I'll probably just try to upload them all when I get to the library in a couple days. But yeah. So it's probably been the most miserable few days ever, actually, by far. Um, let's see here. I tried to write down everything that happened or what I did or whatever, and I know I'm forgetting stuff. But anyway, on day 52, I was for sure in Arizona, but I didn't see any signs. Like, I had planned on lighting off I bought like $3 worth of fireworks. I was going to light them off and celebrate because, I made it through New Mexico. And I didn't see a sign. I was on the historic Route 66, and, just didn't see it. But, oh, gosh. In like a 30-minute time frame, somewhere in between Arizona and New Mexico, pretty much right, I'm pretty sure I was right in Arizona. But I had run-ins with like 6 dogs, and most of them stopped at the cattle guards. But it just made me so mad, as if I wasn't already, drenched. And then 5 minutes later, I had to go under a bridge to do a live radio interview with a hacker from Kiss in Texas. So I don't know, I couldn't hardly be myself because I was just so mad at those stupid dogs. Right after that interview, these 2 guys asked me if I wanted some white, which I'm assuming is a drug, and I was like, oh, no thanks, have a good day, guys. And like a couple days before that, I had talked to Al from Huff, and he's like, I can't believe you don't have a gun and all this, and I'm like, yeah, not worried, I got 2 guns, in my biceps, but, I'm not worried about it. Well, these guys, they went back and forth past me like 3 more times in like a 2-minute period, and like I'm on this old abandoned service road basically because I was trying to get off the highway because I figured that'd be safer. Wrong. And I knew things weren't looking good, so I wanted to hop a fence to get back on I-40, but there was like a canyon slash like a huge ditch between me and I-40, so I kept going. So then these guys, they pulled up next to me, and they said, walk to the other side of the car, and I was like, I just kept saying no, and I pretended like I had my hand on a gun in my pocket, in my coat pocket, just to see their reaction, and really my hand was on my cell phone, the cell phone button, getting ready to call 911, and I had already done my hip buckle on my backpack in case I needed to just ditch it and run. And I told them, I was like, oh, no thanks, guys, I was like, I got to keep my eyes on traffic, even though there wasn't any traffic on that road, and there probably never will be. And they kept insisting that that I walked over to the other side of the car, and I looked in the passengers from the opposite side. I looked in the passenger's lap, and I saw what looked like a gun handle. So at that point, I just start talking 100 miles per hour about what I'm doing, and, and everything. And then I told them, how much I loved their town, and they had beautiful sunsets, and even though I didn't even know what town I was in, and actually I was so close to the border at that time, I wasn't even sure what state I was in, but, I wanted to ask them if I could get a picture of them for my website, but then they'd know that my hand was on a cell phone and not a gun, so, I'm trying to joke with them and smile and laugh, like, nothing's wrong, and I even introduced myself, and they're driving beside me. This goes on for about 15 minutes. And finally, it sounded like the driver, who was a Navajo guy, he told the passenger who was he was drunk, he was like Mexican, and he was like, put that away, and I'm assuming he was referring to the gun. And right after that, he was like, we're Miles and Eno, tell everybody on the news or whatever that our town is the best or something like that, or something along those lines. And they were like, good luck, and then they just took off. So that was bizarre. That was if I had to say I had a close call so far, that would have been it for sure. Oh gosh! But before I could jump the fence, because either way, at that point, once they pulled off, I didn't want them coming back. I was going to go through that canyon one way or another. So before I could jump the fence to get back on the highway and climb that little canyon, another drunk Spanish guy, he pulled over and he yelled at me. He's like, "Those guys were cholos," and I'm like, "A cholo?" So I asked my friend just today actually, um, and he was like, "Yeah, cholo is a gangster," and I'm like, "Oh, great. Well, that's good to know." And that was pretty miserable. Um, the morning of day 53, I slept under a bridge just for a few hours. It was too cold and too wet to put up my tent. Everything was just drenched, and I was just so miserable. I just kept going, and I ended up doing. It's funny. Up to that point, up to that like that day or that point, I thought, everybody deserves to get on Survivor just as much as I do. I haven't done anything too special. I mean, yeah, 1,500 miles, but I had a lot of fun doing it. But at that moment, I realized I just walked like 70 something miles on 4 hours of sleep and the pouring rain. I was like, I deserve it, like, because I deserve something, maybe some Tylenol, but, that was the first time I really felt like, I'd earned something, this whole trip, because that was miserable. I mean, that was absolutely miserable. And I walked past a petrified forest according to a sign, and there wasn't a single tree. Now I thought petrified wood was like really hard wood that was like fossilized or something, but there was no forest. I don't know why they called it that. But anyway, I made it to a Mesa. It's called the Mesa Sports Bar, so I could watch some TV and just kind of dry off and watch the pay-per-view. So I was happy about that. And I was like another 10 miles out to from a Love's and a Subway, where I've spent the night there a couple times. So my legs were just done for, but I stopped there and just that's where I'm at now. Just pitched the tent and oh man, I slept probably a good 10, 11 hours because I was just so sore. But I'm in the Navajo Nation in northeast Arizona, and it says that according to my cell phone, it says that they don't observe daylight savings time. So I'm 3 hours behind Cincinnati time, but I'm still in the mountain time zone, which doesn't make any sense to me. But um, oh gosh, my hair, I washed it while I was walking actually. Just because it was raining so hard, I didn't even put on my poncho. I just took it like a man. I just said, forget it. It's gonna rain either way. I'm gonna be wet, so might as well get used to it. But oh goodness, so I still got those fireworks. Maybe I'll save them for California, but as of now, I'm just glad that it looked like it might have stopped raining for a minute. I can dry off. I'm just happy to be alive. So wish me luck.